Hey, what's going on, everybody? I get this question all the time. How do I start off as a good dungeon master? And I asked ChatGPT this question because I wanted to see what it had to say. My name's Adam Scott, designer and head GM of RPG Club. If you're interested in what we do, take a look at the link in the bio. But let's get to what ChatGPT said, because I want to see if it actually has ideas that could help you or if it's just a bunch of random stuff. Here's the list. First off, it said, learn the basics. Make sure that you read the core rules and watch and listen. Things like Critical Role, Dimension 20, which I guess that can be a good idea. Now I'm going to talk about my perspective on this after the fact, but I wanted to go through this list and give you an idea of what it says. Second thing, start small. Things like one-shots, short adventures, pre-written adventures, using pre-written modules. That's one of the things that it really puts out there as something we should take a look at. It says prepare, but be flexible. Make sure that you plan the session and then improvise as you are running the game. So being able to kind of flex with it. Number 4, focus on the players, know their characters, engage everyone, and make sure that you are working to facilitate and support the PCs as they play. Create an immersive world is number 5 with descriptions and atmosphere, NPC dialogue. So far, it's sounding like a lot. If I was a new dungeon master and I went to ChatGPT and I said, how should I be a good dungeon master? What should I do if I'm starting out? Sounds like a long list so far. Let's keep going. Balance the story and mechanics for number 6. And then number 7, it says learn and improve, which I find really interesting. I'll talk about that more in a second. Number 8, it says stay organized. And then number 9, it says enjoy the process, have fun, and be patient. So I really think that there's some good ideas here in terms of ChatGPT, but I'm not necessarily sure all of those need to happen before you play your very first game or run your very first game as a dungeon master. For me, being a dungeon master, a game master, is all about facilitating and making sure the players are taken care of at the table. I do think it's a really good idea, and it's very positive, at least for me in my running of games. I think it's very positive for you to be able to focus on starting small, one-shot adventures. I see so many people who ask me, hey, I have this really long campaign. It's going to be 25 sessions. I can't wait to run it. What should I do? I'm like, hey, just run a one-shot in a tavern and start small so you get your feet wet first. Don't try to take Avernus as your very first game. Of course, you're welcome to do that if that's what you have fun doing. Give it a shot and go for it. And I've noticed that GMs who tend to be successful when they're starting out, they start small and then they grow. The other things here in terms of like preparing but being flexible, learning the basic rules, I think these are all really important things for you to do or consider when you're running your first game. But keep this in mind. Facilitation is probably the most important thing, at least for me at my tables. I think you may find that as well. If your players feel like they have a chance to shine, that they're given a turn every single time, like literally giving people turns at the table. Whose turn is it? Your turn. That's called giving people the spotlight. Most players will have really positive experiences if you're able to create a game that allows them to do that. Now, the other thing it talks about here is balancing of stories and mechanics. I think that can be really challenging to do initially when you don't even really know how the rules work. It's one thing to know how to play the game as a player. It's a whole other thing to play it as a dungeon master. Because as a game master, we're always constantly doing 2 things. We're making selections behind the scenes as to what's actually coming next. And we're also trying to interpret the rules as referees so that players can experience the game world unfolding with the decisions that they make. So I would encourage new dungeon masters, if you're trying to sit down and run your first few sessions, your ability to reveal what's in the world is a really powerful one. And so the things you choose to present to players is how they will experience your world. I would observe that for me, and I think for you at home, this might be something that can help you. Give them 2 to 3 things every encounter that reveals your world to them so that they can experience how it works and the way that you see the world so that they can experience and engage with it. Now, I'm curious what questions or comments you have. If you have ideas for new dungeon masters or game masters, drop them in the comments below. If you want to help share this with somebody, you know how the algorithm works. It's liking and subscribing helps because it kicks it out and pushes it out to other people who are interested in learning about the things we're trying to do here. RPG Club is always happy to help. Link in our bio if you want to learn more. My name's Adam Scott. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you again next time.